Hey everyone, it's Saturday. Time for another episode of Beyond Garnet. Let's get creative.
May be too intense for some listeners, may be unsuitable for sensitive people, may cause dizziness, may cause drowsiness, may cause excitability. Safety goggles may be required for listening. Take with food, avoid contact with skin, avoid extreme temperatures, and store in a cool, dry place. This is not legal advice, must be present to win. Contents under pressure may contain small parts. Listen at your own risk.
Hey everyone, happy Saturday. I am here with a pretty super amazing guest for you today. You'll know him from films like Superman, Superman 2, Farewell My Lovely, and King Kong. American former boxer and actor, Jack O'Halloran. Hey Jack, thanks for joining me.
My pleasure, for sure.
You've been in a lot of stuff that I just didn't realize you were in.
Well, I've been around.
Yeah, you sure have.
Like a donut.
Yeah, your IMDb is pretty amazing. Of course, most people will probably remember you from Superman 1 and 2, but I have actually put it on my watch list to watch Farewell My Lovely, because that looks pretty
very good movie.
Yeah, it looks pretty wonderful.
That's the first film I ever did, man. That's the first film I ever did.
Yeah. What was your experience like on that set, it being your first film?
It was, well, I met I met a true friend that was just so influential in my whole acting career, Robert Mitchum, which is, was just a brilliant experience, And it was a great film. There was 4 Oscar winners on the crew. There's John Alonzo, who won the part of Oscar for Chinatown, and Dean Televeris, who was a set designer for The Godfather, and makeup guy and the special effects guys they were all Oscar winners because they come to work for Mitchum, And we had a great cast: John Ireland and Harry Dean Stanton, and Charlotte Rampling and Sylvia Miles. It was just a great experience. It was truly, and I could have entered into the business any better than at the realm of Mitchum, who just walked me right through it. And,
right.
Opened my eyes to how enjoyable the industry could be. It was a terrific experience. It really was. I mean, they've been offering me films for several years, and I kept turning them down. And when I retired from boxing, I jumped into Farewell My Lovely, and so I blame it all on Robert Mitchum.
It's all his fault.
Yeah.
Now, when you were boxing, you're a pretty tall guy. You're like what, 6'5"? Yeah, 6'6".
6'6", somewhere in that scope.
Yeah. Were you really, your alias was the Giant?
Yeah. I was probably one of the taller people of that era of boxing. But there were 2 guys that were in that, maybe a couple inches shorter. But, I was tall.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I played pro football before I got into boxing. I never put a boxing level until I was 23 years old.
Now, who did you play for when you played football?
The Jets and the Eagles.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you're an East Coast guy, so.
It was in the era where they had no hardship cases. Your class had to graduate college before you could play pro ball. But I was grabbed by the Jets after a freshman year of college, and so I played on a farm system for them, which a lot of guys did, until waiting to go up and play. And then when I was eligible to play, Philadelphia had a lot of friends of mine down there, and they had a new owner, Jerry Wallman, and they hired a guy named Joe Harris as a coach. And I watched this guy trade a championship football. And I said, wow, this is cool. And Ali had just won the title, and I said to friends of mine, I could beat that guy. They threw me in a gym, and 6 months later, I was in a professional boxing career. And I couldn't box amateur because I was already in a professional sport, which today you can go amateur pro, it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
But you couldn't in those days, so, I had to go straight into professional. I was undefeated for about 16, 17 fights. They discovered I had a tumor of the pituitary, which is a disease called acromegaly, which they said you shouldn't be fighting at all. Of course, I threw that to the wind and said, well, guess what?
I'm going to do it anyway.
Boxing was a lot of fun. It was a great way. It was a day that I wish that I had put into it what I had a lot of natural raw talent, and I got away with murder because
Yeah.
I would take fights on a week's notice and stuff like that. If I train like these guys train today, we'd have a party.
Are you still a fan of boxing? Like, are you an avid fan today?
Yeah. When I retired from boxing, I went into the film business, and then I gave boxing back something that just to prove a point that I could do certain things. And I took a young kid that they threw out of the Conk gym, and I made him super middleweight champ of the world. And I started a trainer he's an icon today, Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach worked with me in the corner with Frankie Lyles, and we won the super middleweight championship of the world. So I gave back to boxing. And Freddie Roach is like, he trains Pacquiao. Freddie's a super young man.
Now, who is someone who inspired you, even if it's just football or boxing or acting? Who is someone that sticks in your mind as being a big inspiration to you?
I think that the person who was the most influential as far as athletics is concerned, one of the greatest athletes that America ever produced was a man called Jim Thorpe. This guy was just he was the all-American Indian who he was an incredible athlete in every sport that he touched. And he actually changed a lot of the rules in football and baseball and stuff, and, in the course of sports back in the 20s and 30s. And he was like the one-man track team, revered by the Wilhelm of Germany in the Olympics when he took the Olympics by storm and played professional football. He played, and it's sad what they did to him at the end of the day when they stripped him of all of his medals and everything, because he went to an Indian college in Pennsylvania, and one summer a guy said to him, "Well, you could, instead of working and shifting his hay around and stuff, you could be playing baseball." And they paid him like $20 or something. He never thought anything of it, didn't know anything. Thought it was just a job.
Right.
And they claimed him to be a professional because of that $20 bill. They said because he was American Indian. His family, we helped his family get all his medals back. He was probably the greatest athlete, and his training methods were phenomenal. So, and I studied him a lot. He was instrumental in what I knew I could get away with.
Wow, that's a great. I'm going to have to look him up.
If you ever want to see a great movie, Jim Thorpe, the American Indian.
Okay. Okay. Wow, yeah, I'll have to look that up. Definitely. Who is someone you'd like to work with in the future that you haven't worked with yet?
I have a project coming up, a couple of really good projects coming up, actually. And one of them is an Irish picture. It's a classic called The Informer. It was made in the 30s by John Ford. It was the first time a character actor, Victor McLaughlin, won a leading Oscar for it 40 years ago. God, when I first got into the business, I was doing King Kong. I had a grade 8 in Meyer, Michigan, and we were sitting down talking about what I was going to do in my career, where I was going to go. Because Farewell, My Lovely was a really good film. And I said, well, I would like to follow the path of somebody like Victor McLaughlin. And he said, well, they don't do movies like that today. And I said, well, I'll just have to redo The Informer.
Yeah.
He said, you're not an actor 6 months and already you're going to be a producer and a writer and everything. I said, well, why not? So I went and I got a book called The Informer by Liam O'Flaherty, and I sat down with it, and I met Liam O'Flaherty in London, and he told me a lot of things about where the characters came from, and I sat down with Robert Mitchum, and I told him what I wanted to do, and he told me how to go to a library and take out a dozen Oscar-winning scripts and learn how to write a script. And I wrote a script called The Informer. We called The Informer, and then we changed it to Ballad of a Simple Man because everybody tried to compare it to Ford's picture.
Right.
And we actually come up with a better script than for that, and it works out really well. And after all these years, and I turned down doing it several times, and we're finally going to put it on the screen. And I get a chance to work with Daniel Day-Lewis and Liam Neeson, which I'm very excited about.
Oh, I love Daniel Day-Lewis. He is so versatile and phenomenal.
He's
And
absolutely brilliant.
yeah,
Brilliant actor.
he absolutely is. Yes.
He's brilliant actor.
So that's
The only way we'll get him to do this is because it's in Ireland. He's actually semi-retired.
right.
Not doing a lot, so.
Right.
But it's an Irish picture, and he loves Ireland, and it's a great cameo for him. Then I have a project, Family Legacy, which is the book I wrote.
Right.
Which we're writing 3 more books, and we're going to do films and television, a TV series, which will be amazing.
Now, if anyone wanted to find that book, can they get it on Amazon or?
If you go to familylegacythenovel.com, it takes you right to a site, and then you go from there to Amazon, and it takes you right to the book.
I'm going to get that one too. You're giving me a list of homework of stuff that I really want to check out and read. I love it.
You'll enjoy it. It's a great read. If you like The Godfather, you'll love Family Legacy.
Oh, very nice.
Stories above The Godfather.
So, are you a collector of anything? Do you collect? I collect pottery. Kind of boring to a lot of people, but I do. Are you a collector?
No, I'm not people always ask me. I should have collected a lot of stuff on the pictures I did because I was very fortunate to work with some great actors, like Brando and Gene Hackman and Omar Sharif and Jimmy Coburn and I should have collected a lot of memorabilia. So, because I've done some iconic pictures. Dragnet with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
But I'm not a hoarder.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I've got a lot of awards and stuff that I've been given through boxing and stuff, and Hall of Fames and things of that nature that sit in the closet. I don't even hang them on the wall. Which, I just never was one of like a material person like that.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, you've mentioned a lot of really great actors that you've had the opportunity to work with. I coach some actors here in Cincinnati. I can tell you that I don't think that actors today can even compare to all the classic actors. They don't train the same. They're not as talented. They don't have the same skills. How do you feel about that?
I'll tell you something. You work with a person like Mitchum and Brando, and when you walk on a set with them, you can hear a pin drop.
Sure.
People have so much respect for their talent, and working with them Robert Mitchum was absolutely great. I had never been on a set before. I never, other than I did some commercials for when I was boxing, promoting stuff, but I'd never been on a set for a film set with him. And Mitchum had arranged for us to go to work together, to drop it down because we had to go a distance in L.A. for this first set when we went to work. They picked him up in the morning, then they came and picked me up. And from the get-go, we just became instant friends. He started teaching me from the time I got in the car. He told me stories all the way down to the set. And then we got ready to go into the first shot that I ever was going to go and do. And he looked at me and he said, "You read that script, kid?" And I said, "Read it. I know your role and Charlotte Rampling's role." And I know backwards and forwards.
Right.
He said, "Good." He said, "Throw it in the trash can. And don't let me catch you doing what thousands of people in this town do. Don't let me catch you acting. Just be yourself." He said, put yourself in this character and walk down the street like the guy. He said, "You've done a lot of things in your life that compare to what this guy's done."
Right.
And I said, "Wow, that's a pretty clever idea." And then he taught me when I got up in front of the camera to look straight through it, give me eye lines. Told me that, he said, "You see all those guys behind the camera that they said, rustle around and stuff." He said, "Don't worry about a thing about any of that." He said, "Because when that little red light goes on, they can all be replaced. You're the only one on site. So just worry about what you're doing."
Wow.
And he just walked me right through it, and it worked. And I just had a natural thing for it. And I'm a believer that the camera loves you. And it's because I asked him one day, what is the definition of a star? And he said, the word presence.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a presence that you leave on the screen. And you said, you could take a Marlon Brando, and he could do any role. And people walk out of the theater and say, "Boy, Brando was great at this, Brando was great at that." And he said, then you got a guy like Bill Holden, who's a pretty good actor, but he'll do a role and people will walk out and say, "Well, what's that guy's name?" Right. He said, "It's a word called presence that burns in people's minds, that they want to see you again and they want to know that you're doing stuff." And he was correct. the camera either loves you or it doesn't. They can't teach you that. It's something that's just a natural deal. The great actors Gregory Peck and Mitchum and Brando and Jimmy Coburn and Warren Sharif. Sharif was brilliant to work with. We did a picture called Baltimore Bullet. Jimmy Coburn and Sharif and I. And it was Bruce Boxleck. And we had a great time. I mean, Omar was just the same type of guy as Mitchum. The great stars are just natural, really neat people.
Right.
They're so confident in themselves, And then you work with some people when they do what they're doing, then they walk away from it. They become themselves, and some people carry this character with them everywhere they go. The manner of how you do things, And I remember when I was doing Carol My Lovely, and we were working about 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something. And I was leaving Samuel Goldwyn's studio one day. I was at the production office, and the editor grabbed me, and he said, "You worked before, haven't you, kid?" I said, "No, first time." He said, and he was an Oscar-winning editor.
Right.
Said, "Well, I'll tell you what," he said, "I'm cutting this picture, and you're going to be a great star." I said, "Wow." So I went to Mitchum, and I said, maybe I should go to UCLA or one of these great acting schools and take elocution lessons or something like that. And he laughed. And he said, "Stick with me, kid, and if not true, soon. Don't worry about a thing. You're doing fine." He said, "They'll ruin you or you'll ruin them." And that was great. It was great having that confidence from a person like that.
Sure.
He was brilliant, and we became extremely good friends. He was a great man.
Yeah.
Great loss with him.
Right. All of these great actors that you had the honor to work with, I'm sure, the wealth of knowledge that you attained from them is just phenomenal.
It's better than any school you go to, I'll tell you that.
You better believe it. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Brando was great. Working with Brando was a treat.
Yeah.
And Hackman, and they all have their different, idiosyncrasies. Like Hackman is very methodical, and Hackman goes down on the set, and if the director is moving people around and stuff, he'll look at it and say, "Have you not done your homework here, young man?" He said, "I'll be in my trailer when you get all set and ready to play here." He said, I'm not an ornament. You keep moving around and try to figure out what you want to do."
Right.
So,
Wow.
Some guys are like that, and then people like Sharif are just such aloof people. Just great.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a great pleasure working with them.
Yeah. Do you have any hobbies outside of acting or being a boxing fan?
Sports. I like writing, and I follow boxing quite a bit. Football and basketball, any sport. I'm a sport freak.
Yeah.
But I was an athlete all my life.
Right.
Sports are my pastime, but I like writing, and we're building a major studio in Nevada, and I've got a few books I'm writing, and I've got a few projects that I want to get done, and so I love the industry.
Sure.
I just live it. It's what you like,
Yeah. Do you like having multiple irons in the fire like that? I know I find myself, I love that, to have so many different great creative projects going. I just feel more alive when that's happening.
Yeah, we're building an amazing studio. We're putting probably the biggest studio ever built in Nevada. It's, for the very first time, everything will be under one roof. Every aspect of entertainment. That's
fantastic. Have you named your studio? What's the name of your
project?
What's the name of your studio?
Well, the name rights will come down. That's a money deal.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of major companies like Google or somebody who want the naming rights.
Sure.
It's a monetary situation.
Yeah, gotcha.
So right now it's about a studio.
Hey, that works until as long as you need it to.
It'll change at the end of the day.
Do you think that you, as a person, as Jack O'Halloran, has quirks? What is your biggest quirky personality trait?
I don't like people that lie. I'm a street person, so I like doing business eyeball to eyeball with people. And, you run into when you're in this industry, you run into so many people that tell you art and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
They're going to do this and do that, and then money people who are going to profess to do this and do that. So we put together a formula that's old school for doing films, because to spend $100 million on a movie is just pure robbery. You know, it's ludicrous. There's no reason.
Right.
I don't care how big the movie is or what you're doing. So, you know, if you do a film and you do it properly, it's done in a proper budget, and everybody benefits from it. The actors and everybody. And, you know, today got this thing so blown out of proportion, people getting huge salaries and stuff because the back end points aren't valid anymore.
Right.
The way of Hollywood accounting and stuff. And the problem with the industry, a lot of it is that it's being run by MBAs, you know, creative people. And that's changing. There's a lot of independent companies coming back. And, you know, it's going to be better for the industry, better for the quality of the product. Because you've had 20 years of a lot of garbage being done. They're making a lot of things because they don't know how to read a script.
Yeah. How do you feel about all the remakes that are going on?
Well, I think it's you know, it shows that there's no creativity in the people running the studios now.
Yeah.
They're all just MBA guys worrying about how much money they can steal.
Sure.
You don't have any people. You don't have any old timer caliber people that really care about the industry. You have these guys that come in and they work a few years and they take a couple $100 million and they retire and boom.
Yeah.
They're not really giving thought to the creative power of what, you know, film is a great way to get a message across to people.
Right.
You know, if you do it properly, you can deliver some fantastic messages to society, because, you know, you have people's total attention with their hearing and their visual.
Right.
And if you come up with a great film, you know, you can put down some principles and you can put some things about life right in front of people. And the films should be entertaining. You know, if people go to sit in the theater for a couple hours of entertainment and escape from their life, you know, they love getting involved in that world. You know, when I was a kid, I used to love coming out of the theater and wanting a sword fight, like Earl Flynn.
Right. Yes.
Putting yourself into that life, you know what I mean? Because you were thoroughly entertained. But there's a lot of things that are done today that don't leave you very entertained.
I know a lot of amazing writers who have written some really entertaining and interesting scripts that will never be seen, just because they have no way to get them in the hands of someone who could actually help them get it made.
Well, that's the sad part.
Yeah.
That's the saddest part. You know, people submit stuff to the studios, but they have people reading scripts that don't know what they're reading. So stuff never. And we tested that. I'll tell you, we did that about 15 years ago. So we took a script and changed the name of it and a few things inside of it. And it was an Oscar-winning script called Casablanca.
Yeah.
And we just changed the very name and stuff. And we submitted it to 4 major studios. They all rejected it.
Wow.
I said, how can you reject an Oscar-winning script like that? Are you crazy or what? But it just showed you that they don't know what they're reading.
Right. Wow.
They have these young people reading scripts that they have no knowledge of what they're reading. They just, you know, something doesn't scare them to death or come out with some kind of, you know,
yeah,
how they got out of bed that morning. It's sad.
Right.
Because there's a lot of very talented writers that wind up going to independent people, and some of them are getting ripped off, some of them are not. And it's sad, the state of affairs in that respect.
Yeah. How do you feel about the sort of dying off of people going to see movies in theaters and streaming them at home instead? How do you feel about that dynamic of the industry?
You have, you know, for filmmakers, it gives you another source of revenue.
Right.
One thing, but as people are always going to go to theaters.
Yes.
You meet people that way. You bang into people. So it's a way of people communicating. And the reason why people sit at home and watch stuff now is because people don't leave their houses as much as they used to. You know, it's like teenagers. People, they don't talk to each other anymore. They text each other.
Right.
There's no personal one-on-one communication anymore, which I find really sad, because how do you know a person if you don't see them in the flesh and understand who they really are, stuff like that, and so the people just, this technology world has separated everybody. People sit in their house and they sit on the computer all day, and, there's some people who spend 18 hours a day on their computer. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
They live their lives that way, you know what I mean?
Right.
Communicate with people, and people never see them face to face, and so many people are getting harmed in that way, which is unfortunate.
Right. I'm like you. I'm a believer of sitting down with someone across the table so you can see their face, you can see their expressions, look at their eyes, shake their hand, you listen to the inflection in their voice. That will always be the best thing in the world to me when you're dealing with people, is always being face to face.
Well, it's the best way for anybody to actually, if they really thought about it. But this technology world was kind of frightening.
It is. It definitely is, yeah. So what future goals have you set for yourself? I mean, I know you've got your studio going and some novels. And
we're doing.
Yeah.
We have a major studio that we're doing, that Family Legacy we're getting ready to embark on, which is going to be films and television. And the series will make Sopranos and Boardwalk Empire look like a little kid's game. It's going to be quite neat, actually. It's going to tell a lot of truth about what's happened in the history of this country and stuff. And, people, if you were looking at genres of what has been successful in the film industry and what genre has been the most successful, organized crime pictures never lose money.
Yeah. I love them.
No one has a crystal ball to say that this is going to be this and this is going to be that, but if you go back in the history of the film industry, organized crime pictures never, even the spoofs that they do, make money.
Yeah.
Some more than others, but what we're doing is not just a mob picture. We're talking about how industry and government and unions and organized crime were partners for years.
Right.
And how they took a lot of illicit monies years ago and put it back into the growth of a country. How they supported jobs in construction and waterfronts, and they invested in insurance companies, they invested in Sears and Roebuck, they invested in Westinghouse, they invested in the growth of a nation. And that story's never really been told properly, so we're about to do that.
That's interesting. See, that's a story I don't know, that I would definitely be interested in seeing.
Well, it's amazing. When I wrote my book, and I took it and I gave it to 5 high school kids, and they took it and they ran to the library to look up the names and stuff. Why did they not teach us this in school?
That's interesting. Yeah.
I think it's time that some truths are told, and Hollywood takes advantage of situations like they just did the picture of the Irishman, yeah. Yeah. And Scorsese took advantage of questions that have never been answered about Hoffa and about Joey Gallo in New York. And I knew Frank Sheeran well. Frank Sheeran was from Philadelphia. And, he never killed Jimmy Hoffa, and he never killed Joey Gallo. And I knew Russell Buffalino was from Worcester, Pennsylvania. And he was a very serious Don, and he was very well politically connected with Washington. I actually like Buffalo. But he picked people in the different ways that Hollywood takes advantage of stuff. It's like the way they blew Al Capone up to be this huge organized crime guy from Chicago, which was totally abolished. He was a shooter out there. They brought him from New York and he killed a lot of people in the press. Yeah. He made a splash, but he wasn't the power of powers behind the mafia. So they taken a lot of characters and fictionalized them and making them mafia this and that. I guess the closest to the mafia was the Godfather. Yeah. So they took 4 people's lives and they melted it into one guy. Brando did it so well. And you have to know the world, and you have to understand that world. And I come from that world. My father was a very, very infamous individual in New York. So I'm very versed on it. I'm very familiar with it. Right. I tell the truth about it. I have a lot of friends of mine that were that are about 80, 90 years old, and they'd like to see the truth told before they pass away.
Sure. That's exciting. That's really exciting to me because I do love organized crime films. But like you're saying, they do blow these characters up and make them, it's not, well, no pun intended. They make them out to be probably more grandiose than they actually were.
I tell you something. You take the old timers, and they lived in their neighborhoods, and they ran their neighborhoods well.
Right.
And like when I was a young boy growing up in Philadelphia, we never locked our front doors.
Yeah.
People slept in their backyards because air conditioning wasn't fashionable in those days. In the summertime, they would sleep outside because it was cool, and nobody ever stole people. And you could leave a baby pram, and there was no drive-by shootings, and there was no, neighbors were looked after much better.
Right.
And people related to people. If you needed something, you jumped across the banister to your neighbor, and people looked after each other. And you don't have that today.
Yeah.
Everybody's separated. You have welfare and this government over this. So it's almost like socialism stepped in. And people don't trust their neighbors anymore. Which is very sad.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is very sad. There's no communication. I mean, you look at families. When I was a boy, you sat down at the dinner table every night with your family and you ate dinner, or you better have a darn good excuse why you're not there.
Right. Yeah.
And your family looks you eyeball to eyeball, so they would know if you're doing drugs or whatever. And today that doesn't happen. You have working parents, and no one sits at a dinner table anymore. And, so communication is not there.
Right.
The warmth of a coveted family is not there. And it's very sad. People venture different ways and are influenced by different things, and they don't have the family values. And I think that if you looked at our society and you said, well, what is the key component that's missing? It's one word: respect.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you don't respect yourself, how are you going to respect anybody else? So people don't have the word respect anymore. They don't respect themselves. So how can they respect other people?
You're a wealth of knowledge for me, Jack. I'm loving this. I'm learning so much from you talking to you. What is
great conversation?
Yeah. What is a disappointment that you faced in your life that still sticks with you?
That I didn't take advantage of a gift that God gave me in sports. I did it later, but by taking a young man and making him a world champion. But I should have done it myself. I should have. Reached, I reached a lot of acclaim as it was, but I should have done so much more. And in the film industry, if I wasn't so set in my ways in certain things, worrying about my life in the street being exposed and everything, and I probably would have won an Oscar for Farewell My Lovely for supporting actor that year.
Yeah.
Johnny Carson. Mitchum had set it up for me to do the Johnny Carson show, and I met Johnny Carson at the Pole Lounge, and we had a great conversation. And he said, "Come on my show, I'll get you nominated because the picture's a great movie. You did a great job, and da 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 da." And then I said to him, "Your show's live?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I don't think." I said, "I'll come on your show. You'll ask me about my father, and I'll ask you what avenged that." He said, "You would get up and leave?" I said, "Yeah. I don't talk about that."
Right.
And I was foolish. I should have done it. They should call me the next day. "What's the matter with you? It's Hollywood. They all love that kind of stuff. What's the matter with you?" And I should have done it. It was one of the first mistakes I made in the business. But you live and learn. You just
sure.
Just go on and do what you got to do until you reach the claims you need to claim. Battle of the Simple Man is an Oscar role for me to do, and it's up to me to do it.
I'm excited for that one, A Simple Man.
Yeah, it's a great picture. It's going to be a great movie, actually. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a great script. We did a great script, and we have a great crew, and it's going to work out really well.
Nice.
And it's a story that people are going to embrace and like it.
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of movies that it's an award picture, and that it'll make money, but it's not going to not going to make $1 billion, but it'll make money for the investors, and it'll be a classic kind of picture, you know?
Right.
Which I like.
Yeah.
Which I quite like.
Yeah.
You enjoy Farewell, My Lovely. Farewell, My
Yes.
Lovely is a very well done picture.
I'm very excited to watch that. Very excited.
Yeah,
it's on my weekend list.
You will enjoy it.
Yeah. I will let you know. I will definitely circle back and let you know once I watch it.
Yeah, please do. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is probably the weirdest question that I ask people on the podcast. What is your favorite type of cake?
Wow. I guess, you know, my favorite dessert like that is ricotta cheesecake.
Oh.
Which is hard to find.
Cheesecake,
you know?
yeah.
And my partner at home here, she makes a brilliant one.
Yeah.
Got to get her to do it once in a while. But, you know, it's an old school remedy. It's hard for people to find it. It's a great cheesecake.
Yeah.
I like cheesecake.
Yeah, I do too. Are you a plain cheesecake guy, or do you like fruit on it, or chocolate, or is it just plain cheesecake?
I can, you know, do fruit and stuff like that on it, but I like it if it's made well.
Yeah.
You know? There's cheesecake and then there's nothing cake. You know? It's like having chocolate cake. If you're going to have chocolate cake, get the fudge in the middle and get it really right, you know?
Right.
I mean, get somebody that's how to make chocolate ice cream to make it correct, you know?
Right. Now, if you could give any of the listeners one really solid piece of advice, what would it be?
Set a goal every morning when you wake up and do the best you can to attain it in the day.
That's pretty straightforward. I'm a list maker. I set my goals for the year and then for the quarter and then for the month and try to conquer as many of those as I can. So I'm a goal list maker.
The way to go, you know, just, you know, you set a level of what you want to do and try to accomplish it to the best of your ability without harming anyone.
Yeah. And don't beat yourself up if you don't nail everything within the time that you want to nail it, as long as you're making progress.
Nobody's perfect in life.
That is correct. It's so true.
Nobody's perfect.
So if people wanted to find any of your work, of course we could IMDb you, look up all the films that you've been in.
IMDb, you can Google me. I mean, I got them all over Google. But going to Family Legacy, the novel, has my acting reel and everything on it. That's all history of me on it.
Yeah. And now can they find you on all your social media on that website as well? There are links to all of that.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter and all that jazz.
Yeah. Yeah. You're about as excited about that as I am. It's a necessary evil in this industry that if I didn't have to have social media, I wouldn't.
Well, it's a big part. I mean, we're getting ready to embark on some films, and the best distribution there is social media.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, you can do more. You know, you can make a star out of someone in 6 months with social media.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Show their face and things so many times that people will want to see what they can do.
Right. So, are you still acting?
Oh yeah, I'm going to do Ballad of a Simple Man. That's my whole one. I got a couple other projects people wanted me to do, and I probably will do a little bit here and a little bit there. But
yeah,
producing Family Legacy is going to be a great chore. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So it's FamilyLegacyTheNovel.com.
Correct.
All right, that's where I'm going to send everybody. I'll put that link up too, so everybody can follow it and find you and all of your links there where they can get the novel and also find out all the movies you've been in. And I am going to watch Farewell, My Lovely. Absolutely.
You'll enjoy it.
I
really
will.
If you ever watch Dragnet, you want to have a laugh. Dragnet's a fun movie. Danny Aykroyd is. You can watch Dragnet 50 times, and you'll never get all the one-liners that Danny Aykroyd puts in.
Really?
It's a trip. Yeah.
Okay, it's on my list.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
It's on my list. Well, Jack, thank you so much for joining me today. This was an immense pleasure.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Nice chat.
Oh,
thank you much.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
I will. You too. I'm going to keep an eye on everything you're doing.
I appreciate that.
All right. Have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you soon.
Take care.
Thank you. Big shout out to Kevin MacLeod over at Incompetech for our super slick theme song, Jet Fueled Vixen. And a big shout out to Michelle Lawson for our super amazing disclaimer.